they don't want to have any reason to smell a rat. But so far, the figures that have come forth, I mean, we're still expecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Results from 18 states are still being expected. Let's look at what has been announced. How do you why do you think it's tending this way? Or what do you think of the results that have been announced so far?
Well, I think discernible observers saw it coming. I said on this podium that it was a choice between more of the same or a new paradigm. It seems most Nigerians are wedded to the idea of a paradigm shift. What I find a little bit disconcerting is this micromanagement of the release of the results. We have to take a break and sleep. In other climes, you don't break. All night through, people are glued to the screens to watch. I thought that INEC was so self-indulgent. They took a break and they said, come back in the morning. They don't even come back on schedule. And I'm worried about this because if you cast your mind back to 1993, that is what happened in a way when Babangida really guillotined the release of the results. And so up till today, people refer to MK Abiola as the presumed winner. When in 1993, some of us had the results. FEDECO, they had not announced all the results, and you still keep referring to MK Abiola as presumed winner when we knew he won fair and square, to quote Chiroma's expression. So now, I think INEC should be a little bit more liberal, fast-track the release of the results, so that, as I said yesterday, our problem is the morning after. You see, we've had our elections, but now we have to manage the consequences from the choice expressed by Nigerians. And if the overwhelming majority of Nigerians want a change, so be it. And we just appeal to the victorious to be magnanimous in their victory, and those who lose should be gallant losers. So because Nigeria will continue to be, the world is not going to end tomorrow.
Well, I'm sure that that's one area where you agree with Prof in terms of this fast-tracking of the results released. You already expressed concern in that particular respect earlier on. But listening to Mrs. Greenfield, do you think that you agree with some of her views in terms of them not smelling the rats? It's just expressing concern.
It doesn't actually matter whether they smell rats or they did not. The problem is that the consequences of the wetting. Now, when we take actions in Nigeria, we do not think about the consequences. Because, like, if you delay it further, and people are the boring points. People want to hear this result. They want to know what happened. They want to get over it. Or people who want to take some actions want to listen. Because, like I said before, when you delay the announcement of these results, so many things can happen in between. And if you do, and for being a Nigerian, having lived in this country almost all my life, I have also known that Nigerians, and especially those in leadership positions, do not plan for the consequences of any action they take. I know also that there is no plan for the consequences of the delay of this announcement of the results.
What consequences are you talking about?
Now, when you delay the results, people are already agitated. People are at the boiling point. You know, if you just announce results, people now, if you lose or your candidate loses, the shock will be there, and you try to get up. But when you keep people waiting, people are not sleeping. Or since Saturday night, people have not been sleeping. They've been glued to your channels. Everybody wants to hear what happened. And like Prof, you know, Prof is a big man. He has reliable data from reliable sources. But so many people are only confronted with unreliable social media figures being found over and over. And when they have seen this 18 result from 18 states,
Well,
and
19 at last
Abuja,
count.
and many of these results do not match with what they had before. And there is also rumor. Like I went to a bank, I was going, somebody was saying, where are you going, madam? Come back. They say some people are going to attack people. Then suddenly there's rain. I ran back. You know, me too. I was surprised that I was even afraid myself. Because people are waiting, you know, rumor mongers have gone to town. So many people are saying so many things. And you cannot, it's not the same way I receive the news that somebody in the street will receive the news. And there are so many stories of rigging, counter-rigging, and all allegations being pondered about. And what we are saying is that, please, INEC, for goodness sake, announce all the results. Our sister's country said nobody is already even giving people fear, you know, saying nobody should tamper with results. By the time you go to the streets of Lagos today, they say, America and Britain, or they have said they want to change these results. And that will be another avenue that would germinate violence, and there will be crisis. Announce the result. We want to hear the result. Nigerians want to hear the result. And it's possible to get these results in a day and to announce it without, I know why somebody was announcing Akwa Ibom. You gave him more time to go and reconcile. Didn't he even reconcile? The prof didn't, the business of these professors, did not reconcile his result before coming on air. It makes me think that they're thinking I'm a joke, you know, they're taking us for granted.
Well,
and,
in fairness, that's not part of the delay, because if everyone had been in that hall, I'm quite sure they wouldn't have gone to sleep, Professor Oyebode. Help us here now. You know, people have been talking. We have the Electoral College in the United States system, but back home in Nigeria, we talk about some 2/3 majority, 25% of 24 states. And all of these numbers and figures, before you came in this morning, myself and Nyota, we were trying to see how much of understanding the Nigerian electorate have of this election. How does a winner emerge in the Nigerian presidential system?
Well, we've had the experience since the case of Awolowo and Shagari, the question of majority of the votes cast.
So you're going back to the 1979?
Yes, with not less than a quarter of the votes, not less than 2/3 of the states in the country. We had a problem in 1979 when we had 19 states, not easily divisible into 2/3. And Akinjide came up with his literal rule, 12 2/3. And I remember I was a social commentator then, and I said there was nothing like a slightly pregnant woman. You either have a state or you don't have a state. What's 2/3 of a state? Is it 2/3 of the population, 2/3 of the land, territory? But it was, in fact, I think Bolaji, the columnist for the Sketch, who called Shagari president by mathematics. But today we are better placed because we have 36 states. So the rule is 24, which is 2/3 of 36. You must have majority, then you must score at least a quarter of the votes cast, 25%, in not less than 24 states. So those are the two legs of the stool.
So even if you have a majority, but you do not have a quarter of the votes,
You've not fulfilled the requirement.
And
Not
that
be declared. There'll be a runoff between the first two. Okay?
What if both candidates now have 2/3? What then happens?
Who has the majority vote? That, you know, first majority, clear majority, simple majority. Then a quarter of the votes cast in 2/3 of, or in 24 states. These are the two
Prof,
legs of the stool.
we were here,
Yes.
we had issues with the figure, and we're like, okay, we used to run away from mathematics. But let's do a slight breakdown here. You mean, okay, I have, let's just say I'm contesting. I have, 25% of the votes cast in state A, 25% of the votes cast in state B, 25, like that until 24 states. Otherwise, I'm not a winner.
No, first,
Majority
vote should be in your favor.
So even if I have a gap between myself and my opponent of over 1 million votes, I must have that 25 to 2/3.
That's the requirement of both the Constitution and Electoral Act. Majority of the votes cast, and then a quarter of the votes cast in not less than 2/3 of the states in Nigeria. That's 24 states. The rider I put on your program many weeks back was that we now have 6 geopolitical zones, and a clear winner who has a mandate should have majority voting 2/3 of 6. That's 4. But I've been assailed by my friends on campus that I'm rewriting the rules. That, yes, they said, look, that's not required. I said, yes, it was just a proposition, a hypothesis. But strictly speaking, majority of the votes cast, and then a quarter in not less than 2/3 of the states. That's 24 states.
We've seen 18 states as
as at 11:30 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah, she rightly
plus the
corrected
FCT.
me. She said, yeah, 18 states plus the FCT, because I was busy counting 19, and then she then said 18 plus the FCT. What states so far have shown any surprises for you, Ma?
When you look at the states, what we have been seeing before is what we see today. Yeah, that's why in my own understanding and my own observation, I didn't see much difference. And it's also worrisome because we are still where we are. You cannot say democracy is growing when we have not made conscious effort, concerted effort towards nationhood. The nation is at stake where we are not crossing each other, meeting ourselves pathway and trying to make ourselves one. But that as it may, the results coming did not surprise me. And I didn't also see changes in many places. Except that you can see some people have done a lot of work, and we are all students of history, and we know why the things happened this way, why it did not happen that way like for example in year 2011, because the people that are supposed to hold sway here are on the other side now. It is understandable.